it's really an acknowledgement of the Christian religion coming into China at that time. 635, really only a few years after Buddhism came in. So Buddhism itself is not a homegrown Chinese religion. It comes from Thailand, Burma, that area there. So it's only a few years before that time.
So at that time, was there a main religion in China?
Probably would have to be a Taoist, you would say, a Taoist religion. But the emperor here was a Buddhist. When the new emperor comes into power, he is a Taoist, and all of the monks that are Buddhist monks will be secularized, meaning they have to pay taxes. And Christianity was kind of swept up in that in about 800 or so, because they dressed these Nestorian Christians dressed in the garbs, in the robes of a Buddhist monk. So there's probably about 200 years when the Nestorian religion really took root. And then for a few more years it existed, but only in small pockets. Pretty much died out. Then the next time it comes back will be in about 1250s. Then again it will somewhat die out. Then it comes back with Matteo Ricci and those people back in the 1500s. And then they're kicked out of China because those Catholic faiths, the Franciscans, Dominicans, and the Jesuits are fighting with one another. So the emperor kicks them all out. They have to go down to Macau. And then Matteo Ricci comes in from Macau, going up north, reaches Beijing in around 1600, and that's when it becomes more established.
So you said the emperor at this time, when the Nestorian Church comes in 635,
yeah,
he said that Christianity was the true religion, and that,
yes.
And so would he be considered a convert, or because of his Buddhism he was just able to envelop that into what his belief system?
Yes, that he was not converted by any means,
right,
to be a Christian.
Right.
But he accepted that there is this God.
So he would have put that God into the pantheon rather than sort of put everything else away for monotheism or that kind of a thing. Okay.
They would the Buddhists would allow Christianity to come in because they thought, oh, this puny religion, we don't care too much about it. They don't have much of a history here, so that it will probably die out. So they didn't really care if it did come into the country.
Sure. Okay.
If this were to be translated into English, how many words?
Oh gosh.
Just one tablet.
Good question. I just don't know. A lot. Look on the internet under Nestorian Christianity, Xi'an tablet, and you'll see the translation of this. Now, in the last hall, when we get down to the last hall, there's another tablet that I want you to see because it speaks about how there were Christians. I think this was in like 1903. There were some Christians that were in a part of this area around here that were killed, and there's probably some good reason why they were killed. So the last hall, you'll notice it because we can't go any further, and they're going to be able to use ink and all that, so that if you want a scroll of one of these, you can actually have one made.
Is there some significance to the symbols on top?
Very much so. Mainly because it was an imperial type stone. So you've got the dragon, you've got this pearl that is in between the hands. So there's a lot to it. Now look at the top of this this marker, this stone. There's a cross. That's an Nestorian cross. When you go to Hong Kong, that particular kind of cross is the symbol for the Christian retreat center at Dao Fengshan Christian Center. So that's it. Yeah, you can just barely make it out, but there's the Nestorian cross.
So what's being held in the hands? A pearl?
A pearl.
It's not. It almost looks like the bread being held up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
There are flames above it. Kind of looks like. Yeah. The dragon is the scale, and see the heads over here and the heads over there, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's
Down
two.
on the side.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to what you were talking about. The feet of the dragon being like the sign of the emperor's power on Earth.
Sure, yep.
And then the clouds I saw on the other one, so maybe the connection of heaven and earth. I don't know. That's,
No, I think you're right. I mean, there's all this symbolism.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool.
Okay, let's move down and we can move into some other halls.